We're going to be talking with Oscar and Barney Chambers today, and they've got this really interesting new cryptocurrency project called Umbria. Well, Umbria is a project that works as a bridge to facilitate blockchain interoperability. They also do liquidity pool staking and a bunch of other things. So we're going to learn about their cryptocurrency project and what it does and why they've made it and how they make money and get all those details, and also where you can learn more information about the Umbria project if you're interested in diving a little bit deeper. So if you like the video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow us on Twitter, Ihub_vision, and I like to be as transparent as possible. And as a quick disclosure, we are legally separate companies, the online blockchain which administers Umbria and Investorshub, but we do share some administration at the top, so we are somewhat related. And after a quick disclaimer, we'll hear from Barney and Oscar. Please note that our videos are not designed to be direct investing advice. Our channel and our content should just be one stop on the journey of trying to find out where to put your money. So talk to us about Umbria. What problem does it exist to solve in the world of cryptocurrency?
Sure. So Umbria is a suite of applications, and there are a few problems that we've seen in the cryptocurrency space, particularly with DeFi. And the main ones are that it's very expensive to use DeFi, especially things like Uniswap and SushiSwap, because of the high gas fees. And it's also quite slow for transferring cryptocurrency between blockchains and also resolving transactions with the current DeFi solutions out there. So what we're doing with Umbria is, first and foremost, we've made a decentralized exchange. And at the moment, that's on the Ethereum network and the Polygon network. And we're also making a centralized bridge. And what that will facilitate is really fast transactions and really cheap transactions between blockchains.
So why did you decide to invest your time and money and resources into the world of cryptocurrency instead of some other business venture?
Cryptocurrency is a really interesting space, and there's a lot of room for growth, and there's a lot of room for useful applications that are actually going to make the world a better place and our financial systems a better place. And we think that working in areas that will make a difference is a really exciting place to work. It's somewhere you can put your passion into the projects that you're involved with. So we've always been very interested in software, and we've been doing software ever since we were sort of mid-teens, I would say. And so we're just very interested in creating software together, and cryptocurrency is sort of the perfect space for that right now. It's a really vibrant space. There's a lot of innovation happening. It's a very challenging space as well. So it's just exciting for us to work in cryptocurrency, and there's a lot of room for improvement.
I feel like in this day and age, we're seeing another kind of revolution of tech and all kinds of financial technology in particular. And we saw something similar, I think, in about the 90s when the internet came around and there was a big disruption of the technology, and we were able to, for example, with email, send things across the world really quickly, where before you might only be able to do it via mail or something like that. We're seeing another resurgence, we think, like that in the finance sector. And with cryptocurrency, we're able to transact large amounts of funds from one area of the world to another in a very quick time frame. It's decentralized, so people don't have to rely on the security of banking or trusting people that they might not necessarily trust. And we think that cryptocurrency in general is going to be so disruptive, particularly in the next 5 to 10 years, that we want to be a part of the innovation and part of the technical side of making all of this stuff accessible to everyone and usable and cheap to use.
So why should someone be an Umbria token holder? How does it benefit them? And is the Umbria token a governance token?
Okay, sure. So Umbria is a governance token, which means it has all different kinds of interesting authority prospects regarding it. The thing with a governance token is that they can be integrated into a crypto platform, and then they can sort of control the configuration of the protocol and things like that. And the governance token holders are able to vote on proposals to change the protocol. So our Umbria token is a governance token. So anyone holding the token will have the sort of voting power within our system. So that's one of the interesting prospects. But also the Umbria token is sort of tied to our exchange and our protocol. So token holders can sort of gain value from that as our protocol grows and becomes more widely adopted.
Yeah, so when people hold our token, they're going to have access to specific areas in the exchange where they can vest their tokens or stake their tokens and receive fees that are generated from the exchange. and also extra Umbria on the Umbria that they've staked. And the exchange and the bridge are just two of the projects that the Umbria team are building upon. We're building a whole software suite of innovations that we find there are gaps in the market. So right now, we already have a few really great use cases for people to hold Umbria and to earn interest on their cryptocurrency through Umbria and through other tokens. But this is really just the start of a 5 to 10 year massive innovation of a whole bunch of software technology in areas of cryptocurrency that we find are lacking at the moment.
So how does the project generate revenue for you and your team?
Okay, so essentially we have two revenue models at the moment, and that will expand as we generate more software solutions for things. So we have the decentralized exchange, and when people provide liquidity to that exchange so that people can transfer their assets from, let's say, USDT to Ethereum, when that happens, they're charged a 0.3% fee, and 0.1% of the 0.3%, so 33% of that fee goes to the Umbria organization. And then the other section, which would be 0.2%, that goes to the liquidity providers of the exchange. So people can put their money into our exchange like you would with a bank and then earn interest on their cryptocurrency. So that's the first way. The second way is you can also provide liquidity to the bridge that we're building, which facilitates this movement of crypto from one blockchain to another. And it's very similar to the way you provide liquidity in a DEX like Uniswap or SushiSwap. You put your cryptocurrency into that system, providing liquidity. And then when people move from one blockchain to another blockchain, that costs a small fee. And then that fee is given partially to the Umbria team, and the majority of it is given to the people that provide liquidity on the bridge. So those are the two main ways that the Umbria team make revenue from this model, but also the community who are using Umbria, who hold Umbria, or who have any asset of any kind, any ERC20 token, that kind of thing, in our systems.
So how easy is it for people to then remove that liquidity from either your exchange or your bridge?
So when we've designed Umbria, we've designed the sort of user experience for Umbria. We've always designed it with the user in mind, because the cryptocurrency space in general is a very difficult space to engage with, especially for the layman. There's a very steep learning curve. And so it's very important for every project really to have a focus on user experience and UI design. So we've really put a lot of effort into making the whole process very clear for everybody, and everything's very clearly laid out for everyone to see, and it's all very transparent. So there's no hidden features that aren't immediately obvious. So it should be pretty easy for anybody to engage with through our website, through our applications, our various applications.
Yeah, and when you provide liquidity on our Polygon exchange, or you farm on our Polygon farm, pulling out your liquidity costs you, a fraction of a cent of Polygon, and should only take you about 30 seconds to receive your funds. And with the Nani bridge, if you want to pull out your liquidity, it will depend on what blockchain you want to pull it out on, but it will cost you anywhere from basically free, a fraction of a cent, to a few dollars if you're on the Ethereum blockchain. And it should only take, between 30 seconds and 5 minutes.
Does the extraction fee scale up or down based upon the amount that you're extracting?
No, it's purely a gas fee. So it'll be blockchain dependent. Blockchains like Ethereum are a bit more expensive and they can cost a few dollars. But then the other blockchains like Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, they're all very cheap and can cost less than a cent sometimes.
Yeah, the Umbria bridge sort of earns money when people bridge assets between blockchains. And the fees that it costs to do something like that are paid to the Umbria team and also the liquidity providers of the Nani bridge. So if you're a liquidity provider of USDT, every single time someone bridges USDT between the networks using the bridge, you will earn a fee. So that's sort of that's the only sort of place within the application where any fees are taken. And so we really want to incentivize our liquidity providers as much as possible, because they're really our bread and butter for the application. We need as much liquidity as possible. So we want to make it as inviting of a prospect for liquidity providers as we can.
And the idea behind our bridge is that we're trying to make it an order of magnitude faster and cheaper than the current solutions available. And when Polygon was created, they quickly made a bridge from their blockchain, their proof of stake blockchain, to Ethereum. And although that was like an amazing innovation, it's very, very expensive and it's very, very slow. I remember a few months ago, I spent about $200 US right in the height of the Ethereum gas prices, just moving from one blockchain to another using their bridge. But with our bridge, it's only going to cost maybe $5 or $3, depending on the gas price and depending on which way you're going. Sometimes it can be a lot cheaper than that. And as well as that, with the Polygon bridge, which is an amazing bridge, it takes about 2 hours because they have very complicated consensus mechanisms to validate your assets being moved from one chain to another, and that's a very expensive process doing that all on the blockchain. With our bridge, we've really simplified the actual mechanism of movement, and instead of it taking 2 hours or so, it only takes anywhere between 30 seconds and 5 minutes, and it doesn't cost $200 as well. So I think we've managed to find a great solution for implementing a really easy to use bridge that's going to be an order of magnitude faster and way over an order of magnitude cheaper as well.
Another thing that we haven't mentioned regarding the bridge, comparing it to bridges that are already available, like the Polygon bridge, it's not just going to be compatible between 2 different blockchains. It's going to potentially support all possible EVM compatible blockchains. So any blockchain with Ethereum style smart contracts should be fine to be integrated to the Nani bridge. So potentially, any blockchain that you could imagine, you'll be able to bridge assets easily between the 2 cheaply and quickly.
So let's shift to the macro sense of the cryptocurrency world. So Ethereum 2.0 is coming out. Well, it's sort of already started, right? But we're getting new developments as time goes on. So at the end of the year, we are supposed to shift from the proof of stake system, from proof of work to proof of stake. And then sometime in 2022, we're going to get sharding. So how do you think these evolutions in Ethereum will affect layer 2 solutions? And how you guys are facilitating those layer 2 solutions?
Yeah, well, I personally think that proof of stake Ethereum and sharding and all that sort of thing is still many, many years in the future. I remember in 2017 when all this stuff was being proposed and people were saying, it's going to take 12 to 18 months. And that was 4 years ago. And I do think that all of that stuff will happen. And we are seeing, some of the early stages and early proposals coming out now and being integrated into the Ether mainnet. But I don't think that we will see a full movement from proof of work to proof of stake and sharding implemented in its full scope for a very long time. And I also think that blockchains like Polygon, like Binance Smart Chain, are going to have different consensus mechanisms, are going to have different constraints in terms of how their protocol is built. And that will mean that people are going to want to use certain blockchains for certain applications. For example, with Polygon, I think their block time is 1 or 2 seconds, whereas with Ethereum, it's 15 seconds. And that lends itself to different use cases on Polygon compared to Ethereum. So even in the best case scenario, if Ethereum does go to 2.0 and everything goes live on mainnet, and everything goes really smoothly, I still think that there's going to be use cases for all these other blockchains. And it's also great to have, the competition between different blockchains and different ways of developing blockchain technology and seeing which protocols are better, which have their advantages in one area of cryptocurrency and in what has an advantage in a different style of blockchain.
Yeah, I think like Barney said, there will be different applications for different blockchains. And I think historically we've seen that is indeed true. The big dog blockchain, of course, being the Bitcoin blockchain and the Bitcoin cryptocurrency, but that isn't used on every cryptocurrency application. Even in the case of small payments, things like Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin and even Dogecoin have shown to have various different applications. And so I think we can take a lesson from the history of that and apply it to the future as well. So Ethereum 2.0, cool idea. Can't wait to see what is possible on top of Ethereum 2.0. But I wouldn't be holding my breath and saying it's going to kill all the other blockchains or kill any other blockchain, because as we've seen through history, people have just been adapting their projects over time. And, projects that can't adapt die, and projects that can adapt survive and make great stuff.
So if people are interested in learning more about your project, what's a way that they can communicate with you?
So the best way would firstly go to Umbria.network. And that's the website that has all of our social links on it, the roadmap as well, and links to everything you would need to get technical with it, or just learn where to buy it, or find out where to communicate with the community of Umbria. The next place would be, once you've got there, go to the Discord link, and you can head over to our Discord and have a chat with us and the community member. And if you have any proposals for the system, you'd like to get involved, or you just want to have more information on Umbria, that would be the best place to go.
Any final thoughts?
Yeah, sure.
Definitely.
Leading on from that last vein of thought, if you're interested in Umbria or you're interested in cryptocurrency development or DeFi, come to the Umbria channel and talk to us. We're always having discussions about sort of the theoretical and what we think is possible and what we'd like to work on next, and just branching our ideas. And there's a lot of bright minds on our Discord constantly discussing all kinds of interesting stuff regarding cryptocurrency. And so we'd just like to invite anybody who'd be interested in participating in that sort of discussion, because that's happening right now. So welcome to anyone who does join our Discord to join those discussions.
Yep, and we're in the final stages of testing our Umbria bridge. It will be live very soon, probably in the next 2 weeks or so. we're very excited to see how all that plays out. Everything seems to be working very well. And through our testing phase, we've seen a dramatic drop in prices compared to the Polygon bridge or any other bridge, and also a really nice level of speed with all the transactions we've tested so far. So that should be out in the next 2 weeks. And if you'd like to get involved in any of that stuff, the Discord is the best place to be as well.
I appreciate you guys watching, and if you hadn't already, as always, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow us on Twitter, Ihub_vision, and I'll see you again soon.